It's time for Cigar Talk, the fastest growing cigar show in the nation. Whether you're a new cigar enthusiast or a cigar aficionado, we have something for everyone, bringing you the best interviews, cigar reviews, and weekly giveaways. So grab yourself a cigar.
It's time to light 'em up.
Welcome back to Cigar Talk. I'm your host, Rob Jones. We got Bryant Falconer, co-host extraordinaire, in the house.
Man.
What's up, bro?
Every week, I just got to accept it, man.
You know what? The more that you act like you don't like it,
The more you're going to do it.
the more exciting I got to make it every week.
The more you're going to do it. No matter what.
How you been, man?
Man, I'm doing good. Doing good, bro.
Nice. So, let's see. This week, we just finished up the top 100 must try.
Yes, sir.
So I thought what we would do this week is flip it around and let's get back to the basics.
Okay.
Let's get back to the nitty gritty. And, if you're new, you're definitely going to want to check this out. And even if you're a experienced cigar smoker, we're going to have some things that maybe you go, I don't need to do that anymore. But whatever. We're here to help the community.
Most definitely.
So
That's all we're here for.
And I'm going to let you go first. Tell everybody what you're smoking tonight.
The Mil Diaz.
Are you big on that stick?
Yes, sir. I like it.
It was on the top 100 must tries.
I like it.
I'm a fan.
Yes, sir. It's a great stick through and through. I love it with that Woodford because they play off each other so perfectly. It's a medium, and that Woodford is not overbearing. So it's like neither one outdoes the other, so I can sit back and enjoy both. I like this stick.
Nice, man. Well, I tell you, I picked this stick for two reasons.
Okay.
One, it was on the 100 must tries.
I understand.
And I really enjoyed this stick. Zeka is the one who originally, or it's either Zeka or Big Adam, was telling me about this stick. And here, let's cheers up so I can get one. There you go, Larry. Thank you, sir. Cheers, brother.
His weird Larry's just there. His long arm just stretched all the way over.
But one of the reasons I also picked this stick was because of the bourbon I'm picking tonight.
I understand.
Which is the Heaven Hill Ball and Bond.
Heaven Hill.
7 years. Anyway, dude, it's nice. It's not too hot. A lot of flavor. But it's full-bodied. You know what I mean?
Yes.
And that's why I went with a full-bodied Tatawahi Fausto. Oh, you can see that in there.
It's a good stick.
Yeah, so I wanted to actually cut it on the show because this is back to the basics. You know what I mean?
Back to the beginning.
So, I mean, whenever you're in this, humidor looking for a cigar, you should inspect that cigar before you buy it. Because you know what? You get out there, you pay for it, you leave, then it's yours.
It's all you.
You know what I mean?
It's all you.
But, if you just reach in and grab the first cigar, somebody else might have picked up that cigar and dropped it on the floor and then picked it back and put it in the box.
Knows what they did to it.
I don't know. I'm just saying. Or maybe in shipping, it got damaged and nobody noticed because it was under the first stack of cigars. You know what I mean? So I like to look around and look at this, dude. That is a oily, sheeny.
Yeah.
That is nice.
Look, that construction looks good.
It is,
does.
man.
It does.
Now I'm hopeful. I haven't cut it yet. So then I'm going to cut the top of the cap off. You see that?
Okay.
Just right across.
Do the
cold draw. Do the cold draw.
How was that?
Perfect.
See?
That is my moment of being scared.
See,
when
I'm going to be satisfied or
because that one cold draw tells you
everything,
how the cigar is going to work.
It lets you understand your experience that you may have. Because some people after that cold draw, like, no, I'm not even doing this.
It's like, yeah, I mean,
I'm not even doing it.
And I'll tell you this. This is probably not very much cigar etiquette, but like I think this is a 6.5. But like if I had a tight draw on this and lit it up and I just couldn't smoke it, I'm not going to throw it away.
Here comes the Dexter.
I'm going to cut it in half.
He just mutilated.
And then I'm going to try again because you might have cut, a knot or a tight spot out and then you can smoke it. Now, if it's still tight at half,
See, I'm done.
I'm done. I'm not trying to do anything with it. I'm just done.
Next.
But no, draw is fantastic on this. And then, if you're going to jump into you got my lighter? Oh, thank you. When you toast the foot, man, I have just gotten to where that is, and
Part
all
two
these
of it.
steps,
Yes.
all these steps are important because if you don't light up a cigar correctly and it starts canoeing on one side, you have nobody to blame but yourself. You know what I mean? And, sometimes I've been in a hurry and I didn't toast the foot. I just started lighting it. And then next thing you know, I got a runner.
You're sitting there mad at yourself because you can't be mad at anybody else. You had the opportunity to take care of that, do that right, and you didn't. So to sit back and say, well, as he usually does, blame it on Bryant.
Right,
Nope.
right.
Nope.
Hey, man, were you sucking on
Nope.
this?
Nope. Not at all.
Heard that before.
Nah, I've never heard that.
Oh, man.
Not happening.
Yeah, the draw on this is
Back to basics.
literally perfect.
Back to basics. This is a basic thing. You can never leave a sliver of the door open for Rob. Nothing. If he sees any daylight,
that door's
You're done.
coming off the hinges.
You're
I'm
done.
kicking it in.
it's the SWAT team kicking it in.
That's right.
Bruh.
Have you smoked one of these?
Ah,
Oh,
I heard you.
You know what?
you.
I'm going to look and see if I can give you one.
Where did you get it at?
I had a friend send
Send
me. And so
I wonder if that really did send you and didn't do like Sean, set aside and label and send
so
instructions.
what you're saying, Rob, is somebody sent us a 5-pack.
and you smoked 5.
Wouldn't be the first time.
Will not be the last.
I usually don't tell you until the next week.
I know. We
Anyway,
where are they?
this
Oh
is
man, they gone. You didn't ask. What?
This is a phenomenal stick.
Do it. I
Really is.
understand, bro.
How you liking that bourbon? You know what?
As you said, not too hot. I kind of got a little floral, something little citrus in it. But dude, this is
to me, it's like cedar and leather and caramel.
I tasted the caramel. He said caramel. I tasted the caramel.
You're gonna start making fun of all the people from Lubbock?
No, because everybody does that. Caramel. What did he say again?
Caramel
Yeah, okay.
or caramel.
Caramel.
I'm down with either one. I'm easy like that.
That door open, but I'm not running in.
Hey,
I'm not running in.
I'm holding the swinging doors open for you, bro.
I'm not going, bro. Nope, I'm staying back. We going back to basics.
Yeah, and I'm excited to get into that because it's something that I really didn't know for a few years. Of course, you know me, as my friend down in Houston, Jeff Richardson, always says, Rob's like a freaking bull in a china cabinet, just barreling in.
High off Red Bull. he drank a keg of Red Bull and just ran in there. And you have $1 billion queen something sitting there, and that's all he sees.
Hey, and am I talking to everybody I see along the way?
Just horns tearing up and everything. It doesn't matter, man. It doesn't matter. But that's you, bro. That's you. And we understand that. Like I said,
I was waiting for him to say we like you anyway, but he just says we understand you.
That would have opened a little light. And I'm not going to stand for that one. So I'm going to pick my words very carefully on this show today. So please understand me.
All I can tell you is
I'm not
this
going
Tatawahi Fausto is damn good, and I'm just right in the tip.
Okay.
Are you drunk already?
No, I have. It's what you saying, and I know you. So it's like, stay still. Yep, he's throwing them out there. Don't go for the dancing fish. No, nah. Like,
hey, you know what? You know what? I just realized.
What's that?
I gotta change my bait.
Yeah, 'cause I'm not going there, bro. I'm act like the gator this time. I'm sit there and look at you like, okay, just don't you fall in.
So anyway, guys, if you haven't already, light up a cigar.
Yes.
Sit back and enjoy with us, man. That's what we really want to do is just have you and
Enjoy.
us be the community.
Yes.
Because that's what
This
my
is.
number one goal on this show is forever. Just be part of the community because we love the cigar community. Dude, I mean, the people that you have met because of cigars.
I have not had any issue. Because I'm thinking of my words. I can't bait you. So I'm trying to think of a way of saying it safely. I have not had an issue with anyone I've met because of cigars.
That's fair.
Notice I didn't say sticks.
No, that's fair. And the thing about it is, when you go to cigar lounge, it's all walks of life.
Yes, sir.
I mean, it's crazy. I talk to guys that are, doing whatever they do.
Yeah. And it's life. You meet gentlemen or you just meet people.
Well, I was going to give the example of that everybody gives, a janitor to a lawyer or doctor. And you know what? You know why I hate using that? Because it intends on people thinking of the janitor as the lower guy. And I'm like, dude, I actually have known some dudes that were janitors, and they are rock stars.
Let me ask you this. Have you ever worked in a building where the janitor wasn't there?
Yeah.
You have?
Yeah.
So you do understand the importance of a janitor.
Absolutely.
Because it's the same. I mean, we're all janitors because we take care of our houses.
Right. But what you're saying
some
is
people do.
when you're at your work, if you don't have a janitor, dude, that's a lot of extra work on some people. And usually it's me.
Yeah. Sit back and you're like, man, this trash ain't been emptied in 3 days. And it's a small can. So it's stuff everywhere.
It's stacking up.
Stacking up. Who's going to take it out? I appreciate everybody. I do.
Right. I don't
appreciate
care
everybody.
what you do. You know what? I want to know that you're a good person.
Oh, that's all that matters.
That's all that I care about.
Because like you said, you meet people that are great and have, small jobs. You meet people that have 6-figure jobs and the biggest assholes you ever in your life met. You're like, okay, that didn't make sense, but it's true.
And then you can flip it around because, a lot of people who have a lot of money get a bad rap as being an asshole. And through the cigar industry, I've met people who got more money than I'll ever make, and they're just genuine people. Yeah. So, that's what I love about the cigar industry.
Yeah, it's the beauty of it, man.
And then, the other thing I love hanging out here by myself and enjoying a good stick, listening to music.
I'm trying to think of what to say and not get caught in.
No, I'm just saying you sit back.
You hanging by yourself. We know.
I can really relax with a bourbon or with a tea. It doesn't matter. You know what I mean?
And we know you drink tea.
I drink a lot of tea. Yeah. If I drink as much bourbon as I did tea,
your liver would have left alone.
They'd be calling me Elmer T.
Because it'd be gone. Oh, man, it's just beautiful to get back to what is the core of the cigar community.
Right.
The core.
I agree.
The basics. Hey,
and if you're part of the community, realize that you have responsibility to treat people well.
You hear that, Larry?
You know what I mean?
You hear that, Larry?
When you go into, now don't get me wrong, there's a lot of shenanigans that goes on between friends.
Yeah.
But I'm talking about those guys that you don't know.
Like one day you get somebody asks you to light your cigar with your own lighter.
Right?
You want a light? Hey, that's mine.
Well,
How long have you been looking for this?
What's funny is, I'll tell this story because that happened.
Yep.
And then a few months later, I was looking all over for my cutter. And anyway, I sent a text to you and Jay, and I said, which one of y'all took my cutter? And I told my daughter that because she was right there, and she said, you think they would steal from you? And I said, no, but they would think it was funny to take my
Yep.
cutter.
And what happened? Neither one of us took it.
That's right. I found it.
He found it.
It was in the recliner.
Deep in the recliner.
Deep in the recliner.
But that's the beauty of it, man. You make friendships. You make relationships. God, I almost set myself up for that. But you make relationships with people, and they are true. They are genuine to the point where you know that person. You know we ain't gonna take nothing from you. We'll mess with you for a long time.
Right. Yeah,
Because
exactly.
you will do the same to us in a heartbeat.
Maybe.
Nah, ain't no maybe. There are for sure things in the world. You wake up in the morning and the sun is going to be there. You go to sleep, the moon. And if you leave the door open, Rob going to kick that in. And anything he can do to mess with you, just for joy.
Do you see the burn on
Man,
this?
I'm looking at that.
Look at that.
I'm looking at that.
Dude, that is not, that's a stack of dimes right there.
That's
starting
perfect.
up.
That's when you know you got a good stick.
They're so rare.
Especially the ones we've seen here.
I mean, but
some of
but
them.
I mean, even on good sticks,
Yeah, because it comes down
it's
to
rare because I think in order to get the stack of dime cigar,
Uh-huh.
it is just like a coincidence that you had the best roller, the best quality tobacco. Like if you took 10 cigars and made cigars out of those 10, one of them has the best tobacco. Even if it's from the same plant,
It still got the
parts
best.
of it are going to be a little bit better. And it's my theory
Uh-oh.
that it only happens when all of those elements come together.
The perfect storm.
Yeah, exactly.
The perfect storm.
Now, I could be wrong. I just made that up, but you know,
we knew that when you started talking.
that
was evident.
That's my theory.
It was
So,
just the fact that you made that it was so cohesive. You know, he went from one topic to the next, and we looking at me and Larry looking at you like, is that Rob talking? Where's the script? Because him thinking that on his own, amazing. I could see Zeka sitting over there in that chair looking at you like,
you know, like when you whistle at a dog and he goes, "What?"
where's the hand up? Making him talk. But in the end, bro,
Hey, so this is the first night also that we are live streaming
Yes.
to the Discord server.
Yes.
If you're not a member of our Discord server, we'll have it in the show notes. We'd love for you to join. We call it the Cigar Talk Circus because and when we get new people in, Groot always says, please keep your hands and legs inside the ride
please.
until it comes to a
because
complete
you will
stop.
lose them.
It's a lot of fun.
It's all fun.
A lot of fun.
All day
but
long.
No, but it is all day long. But you know, it's a lot of fun. But there's also a lot of great value information. There's a lot of great friendships.
Depending on the room you go in.
That is true.
You go in some rooms, you're like, whoa. Especially if you knew how they talk to each other so rough.
But what you don't know is I made a private room for those people.
So you don't have to worry about
Like
trickling into that
like
one.
you can't like most people can't even see it.
I got you.
So-
It's the Dexter room.
Right.
Lord.
But anyway,
it's our crew though. That's just them. Nobody's offended. Everybody has something to say, and no matter what you say, somebody's gonna come and top that. And you're like, ooh, man, what did we do?
Right.
Where did we find these? No,
It's
they
like
found us.
if someone gets offended or wait a minute, if someone gets offended or their feelings hurt or whatever, you know what I call that, don't you? I call that you crying uncle. Because I took you down and you can't take no more.
Can't take no more.
And if you complain or you're offended, that means you had to say uncle.
You had to. And there are times I've seen them like, man, just say it. Just
Stay
say
down.
It. Just say it. Just say it. What's the young boy's
Tyson,
name?
stay down.
What's the young boy's name?
John Price.
Yeah. One time you all were going and I'm like, dude, just don't say nothing else. And he just kept coming back and I'm like, you setting yourself up for that one, man. Can't you see it?
Yeah, the first one, it's on them.
Yeah.
But
Everything else?
Hey, the 13 times later.
Correction. The rest of the day later. Because I was
Oh.
like, he's still in there getting roasted. I'm like,
The only one that gets roasted more lifetime is Orlando.
Yeah.
We love Orlando.
Love him. But he loves being roasted, though. He loves it because he's like, yeah, okay,
He's
I
like,
could take it.
He's like a peanut. I want to be roasted. So
I almost thought he was going somewhere.
No.
Thank you. We're keeping our PG-13 so far.
When's the last time we made it through a whole show and kept the PG-13? Look at that ass, dude.
I think he was doing COVID, the pandemic, because I have, yeah, and it's not just you. I've gone over there because these topics I get, I'm like, oh, I shouldn't have said that, but it's too late.
Right.
It's too late, man. It's just enjoyable. And that's the same thing with the community. No matter what is said down there in that lounge, it's all right. It's all right.
Yeah, and
unless you...
Did I speak of Brian?
No, you haven't said Brian's name tonight.
You remember Brian that used to come up to the Leaf every so often?
Anderson,
that's right. I seen him on Facebook the other day, and I was like, dude, where you been?
Yeah.
Anyway, he said he was taking care of his parents and his brother.
Yeah.
And so anyway, I was like, dude, man, miss you at the shop.
Yeah.
I said, if you get time to get away, hit me up, man. Let's get together to smoke.
He's another one of those.
Dude,
quirky.
Yeah, but he is like a solid dude.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I mean, taking care of your mom and dad, that already, I mean, you just can't say anything.
You saw that
That's all you
before
need
that.
to
Yeah,
say.
Yeah, you saw that
right.
Yeah.
And before he was even doing that, he was just one of those guys. You're like, solid dude.
Yeah, he'd help you out no matter what, man. No matter what. That's what I love about the community, because I've been in I've been a part of a lot of teams, a lot of, groups of people, and nothing. Oh God, he started smiling. I left that door. Damn.
You're good. I'm gonna have
oh my God. Yeah, please drink. But nothing compares to the cigar community. I'm shutting up, man. Go, it's yours. I saw when I said I saw that smile on his face. I was like, oh Lord, I left the door open.
But I didn't jump on the opportunity.
Go ahead.
So anyway, hey, well, let's talk about our sponsors right quick. We got great sponsors. And I want to start out. I had a Zoom meeting with Case Elegance today.
Yes, sir.
Dude, they are about to come out with a humidor that is going to knock your socks off. I'm laughing because it's that badass.
Is that bad?
And
it's that bad.
It's badass.
Gotcha.
And whenever I saw it, I was just like, I mean, how do you top the Octador? You build the military footlocker.
Yeah.
How do you top that? Wow. They topped it.
Can I send back the military footlocker then?
I'll take it.
Because, dude, man,
let me tell you what, this new one, I don't know how long it's going to be before it's released, but holy cow. I'm going to go out on a limb here and say it's the nicest humidor I've ever seen. Now, wait a minute. Let me back up. I have seen a humidor that was $1 million. Did you see that?
Nope. Don't want to see
Dude. You know, Big Smoke's over in Kuwait Cigars.
Mm-hmm.
He posted a video of it, and it's like has gears and like, all kinds of crazy things. And it opens up, and it's like got 24, Opus X in a circular. They're laid out in a circular pattern, and it's like, holy crap. Anyway, it was $1 million, and I'm sure somebody over in Dubai bought it.
Bought 3 of them.
Yeah,
I need one for the car, one for my Tiger,
and one for the shed.
Yeah, one for the shed. Mm-hmm. I'll just send that one to Abilene because those guys, thank you, because that's the only way we'll get it.
Dude, but this new humidor is going to knock socks off. And they just came out with a new travel humidor. Uh-oh.
Yeah.
I saw it. Comes in 2 styles. One is like a tactical.
Uh-oh.
The other one is a lot like my man bag. That brown leather.
Yeah.
And on one side, of course, it has your cigars. On the other side, the pockets for accessories, and they're like adjustable because it's magnets that keeps them in place. Dude. And then there's a pouch for your humidification, of course. But dude, everything that they do just keeps surprising me.
These are manly toys.
Yes.
That are great. I'm sitting there thinking about my military Foot Locker, and I grabbed 3 sticks out of it today, and opening it, you feel like because
You see what the Octador's on?
Yeah, 68%. Mine is still at 68. But it's just that craftsmanship. You know what I'm saying? You appreciate that versus a humidor you spent $25 on, and you don't even know if you got a seal or not. So you put 37 Bovita packs in
right
to make sure. But it's just like,
dude, that Case Elegance humidor I've got, and you've got, and all the guys from the Patreon, I know they've got them, and dude,
they 100%,
100%, everything they do. And I told them this. I told them we had this meeting today, and I said, you guys are the only people who we have allowed to sponsor the show that we didn't track down and beg for you to sponsor the show because we love your products.
Yep.
But we did a trial run, and that trial run showed me the quality that they had. And because, originally we told them we were going to do 3 months.
Yep.
And after 3 months, and I really learned and used their products and fell in love with them, I was like, yeah.
We're going to stay friends with them for a long time.
All right, then.
All right.
So anyway, if you guys want to check out Case Elegance, there's a show note link, and you go over there and check it out. And I will put in a link to the new travel humidor. And then if you buy a humidor or whatever else that you catches your fancy,
I like that.
Put in the code Cigar Talk Coin, and you'll get a medallion, challenge coin, whatever you want to call it, with the Cigar Talk logo on one side and their logo on the other. So anyway, let's go to our next sponsor. We got Viva La Vida Cigars. I smoked a Club 500 today.
I saw you took that picture and put it on.
Hey, that's what I smoked during the Case Elegance meeting.
I'm smoking quality while I'm talking to you about your quality.
Hey, and that was the one disappointment I had in the Case Elegance meeting.
What?
I was the only one smoking. There was 4 of us, and I was the only one smoking. To be fair, though, 2 of them were in the office, and 1 of them was driving. Not everybody's like me and smokes while they drive.
Me, I do.
I know you do, but a lot of people don't. In fact, I asked that question on TikTok. Do you smoke in your car? And all these people are like, no. And I'm like, well, you're not a cigar smoker.
You're missing out.
No. I like smoking in my car just because sometimes if I'm on a 2-3 hour trip,
it's different when you can do something that you enjoy. I like driving. I do. So me being able to smoke while I'm driving is perfect. Pulling over to stop and sitting for an hour and a half to smoke a cigar, that defeats, because now I'm an hour and a half behind. So I'm like, I got to make that time up.
Let me tell you a little story about this. So I was smoking, driving back home, and my buddy Jeff from Houston was following me in his car. My phone rings, and he's like, dude, I'm 10 car lengths behind you, and I can smell your cigar.
That lets you know it's a great stick.
I was like, that's cool.
The wind can dissipate that.
Ain't happening.
Staying power, baby. Staying power. Come on,
I just thought that was hilarious. I was like, I've never thought about it before.
That is smooth.
He was
I'm
like,
10 car lengths behind that. You switched.
But anyway, Viva La Vida Cigars. Enjoyed the Club 500 earlier today. Great freaking stick, dude.
Tell the truth.
And I think I smoked on it for about an hour and a half.
So you actually enjoy.
I took my time.
You didn't rob it.
No, I didn't.
Good.
The cradle was free.
Free?
So anyway, well, let's talk about McAuliffe Cigars. And what time is it? Because here shortly, when we take a break, we're going to jump over and say hello to the guys over at McAuliffe with Bill White. Is their 1-year anniversary, so we're going to swap over there and say hello to those guys during the break. But anyway, speaking of McAuliffe, they came out with the go ahead, the Gordo 6x60 McAuliffe A. And I was like, dude, so many people are excited about that.
Yes, I am.
Well, see, like I knew you would be.
Yes.
I'm going to smoke one because I smoke everything, but that's out of my wheelhouse. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't think it's me.
Okay. Okay.
I think it's you.
I'm just overthinking things.
Yes.
Everything
Think
you say,
you
I'm
are.
like, oh God. Oh God.
I didn't realize that Viagra I gave you kicked in already.
Bruh, no. 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 Yeah, my wife is going to listen to this. What is Rob talking about? I love it, man.
She'll say, and because the show comes out a week later,
Yeah.
you'll be like, you remember when I came home?
You heard that peg leg? Oh, man, we just lost it. God.
What?
We just lost the PG-13.
I said,
Damn. And it's my fault.
right.
You opened the door and I said,
Come on. Come on.
I got some candy, little boy. I got some candy. You changed your lure.
Told you.
Changed your lure.
Gotcha.
Different bait. My fault. Please forgive me. And what about the leaf, man?
So, well, hold on.
He said I'm still there.
For the McAuliffe, look down the show notes. There's a link down. Sign up to be an ambassador if you haven't already.
Yeah.
I mean, it's like a gateway to a great community. You know what I mean? What do you
There it
mean?
is.
Cutter?
There, no.
Oh,
What's
my
up?
coin. Yeah.
There it is.
Right there, baby.
There it is.
Whoop. There it is.
Whoop. There it is. That's what it's about. They think about their people.
Dude, you realize that we've been ambassadors for over 2 years.
We are triple digit people.
Right.
No.
Yeah. Triple digit.
What's your number?
298.
Yeah, because you got a different
No,
one.
no, that's my number.
That was your original
That's
number?
my original number.
So you found your original
Yeah.
coin.
Yeah.
Where's the other one they gave you?
I got that one too.
You got two
Actually 298 and 299.
and 299, and Luke has his.
Right? I think he's like 5341.
He's a 4-digit guy.
Yeah.
He's a 4-digit. You too young. He's too young. People with the 4 digits. I'm still trying to find out who got 10,000.
If you have 9999 or 10,000, please send me an email.
We got to see that, man. I want to see that one. I truly want to see it.
Crash that lighter.
Yes, sir. He needs
I
to
did
light
more
it back.
talking.
Than smoking. And that's it. I'm still sitting there. I'm amazed about the Leaf because we go there. We have the Saturday morning crew. We go there 2 or 3 nights out the week. Larry's there every day. He's the staple now. But 1166 North 2nd
Abilene, Texas.
is
Downtown.
home. Is home.
That's right.
It's home, man. You walk in there, you immediately feel the environment.
You know, the other day we were talking about the Leaf on Discord.
Uh-huh.
And Emmanuel has been by there and bought sticks, but he's never smoked there.
Okay.
And Zeka was like, dude,
You missed out.
you're missing out.
You missed out. You missed out. For an opportunity. It didn't matter if you was in the front or the back. You missed out, man. Because when we talk about the community, this is what we're talking about.
Right.
This is what we're talking about. And when we go other places, you walk in the door and your immediate mindset is it going to be like the Leaf? That's the way I look at stuff.
Right.
I walk in, is it going to be like the
I'm
Leaf?
already measuring
Yeah.
up compared to the Leaf. And you know what? Some places aren't going to be anything like the Leaf, but they're still going to be great places.
Yes.
But you get to see what makes a shop a shop. You know what I mean? Like when I go
Perfect.
to, say, the Paladin
Gotcha.
in Fort Worth, I love going to that shop. But it's completely different than the Leaf. I'm good friends with the owners, Aaron and Matthew, and they do. I just love those guys. They're good people.
Yeah.
And their lounge is completely different than the Leaf. And so it's a whole different experience.
A different dynamic.
Every Christmas, that's where I'm
you're
going to be.
That's where you're going to be. I got you. It's just you walk in there, you get the experience immediately because no matter who's working that day, they're going to greet you at the door. You go in, okay, they're not like used car salesmen. They're not going to follow you around.
And you know, You know, well, the reason I do the heavy size because when I went to the liquor store the other day, the owner was on me like a hawk. Hey, have you tried this? Hey, have you tried that? Hey,
man.
and I'm like,
I don't want that.
yo, dude,
Leave
I
it alone.
read a lot about bourbons. I have a good idea of what I'm looking for.
Yes.
I don't need you telling me I need to buy the 13 arrows. Okay.
Oh,
You know what I'm saying?
He went there.
I did go
You
there.
went there.
So because this guy, and I bought this bottle from him.
I had an opera.
I already got that
Yeah.
in one hand. And he says, oh, have you tried this? This is like honey from a virgin's butt.
Yeah, we really lost it.
And then I was like, well, I've got to have it then.
Oh my God, man. And this is during the time that we're talking about the leave. I can hear Jay now. Oh man. I can see his face. Oh man.
And we're live.
Yep. He's like, he went there.
I can't edit that out.
Why didn't they let Brian keep talking?
Okay.
It's like at least he was taking us on a trip. Rob took us to the horror show. And he was talking about my shop. We love it, man. Dude.
Tell them about the quality of the leaf, though.
Man.
The people behind the brand.
It's 100% them. They want you to be immersed in the cigar community, no matter what part.
And they want to be a part of providing you the best cigar experience or pipe experience.
Ever.
Or if you're just some person on the street that needs to use the bathroom.
And they don't discriminate. Come on in.
Come on in.
Because it's inviting.
Right.
And every last one of them has that same mentality. I went back there and they got the painting on the wall now. Man, come on.
Dude, that mural is awesome.
How much of the community is that? Because they're paying homage.
Yeah. Doesn't get any better.
Doesn't.
No.
I'm just like, man,
that's taking it, dude. I mean,
taking it 9
when
steps
the
further.
owner of a cigar lounge has a mural painted that honors bygone members, that tells you the level of care he gives for his customers. Yeah. I mean, that's it.
Yeah. Then you walk in that humidor and you see why these people shopped here, smoked here, came here. You got that Thursday night crew. They come down there, man, and they just have a ball. You know what I'm saying? You know.
Dave invited me out to come down this last time to drink something, and I wasn't able to make it. And you said,
we will lose every.
It was called Cinder Dick. That was on the label, Larry says. So anyway, how was it, Larry?
It was okay. It wasn't bad. It was better than 13 arrows.
Well, turpentine is better than 13 arrows.
Getting back to the humidor. Getting back to the humidor. There has never been a trip that I've come down there that I've seen that I have not seen something new, something I wanted to try, something I heard about that was good that we didn't have here before. Jay listens. He listens to his...
And only because I see him more than the other guys. But Jay and Scott are both money when it comes to picking out cigars.
Tell the truth. Because there's many times... I can't say many. It's a lot of times I walk in there, man, pick me out some sticks.
Yeah, and Scott is amazing.
Scott and Jay are both dead on.
Yeah, Jay... and maybe I shouldn't have higher expectations of Jay because he owns the place. But, my expectation of Jay is that he's going to give you a great sampler if you ask him to do that.
Yeah.
And whenever he does do that for you, he blows your mind.
He blesses, because my wife will go down there for special occasions and she'll buy sticks for me. And she'll tell him, she'll see something I'm talking about. Like last time I was talking about Perdomos. And she said, well, give me a sampler of Perdomos. Man, I opened that box.
Wow, that's a good sampler right
Dude,
there.
I opened that box. I'm like, like when she brought me to Fine and Rares, I'm like, what? She said, well, I went down there thinking about this, and then Jay said that you would love these. I was like, he didn't lie to you. He didn't lie to you.
Honey,
keep doing what you're doing.
you're doing good.
Keep doing what you're doing. That's your home brick and mortar. That's what it should be doing for you.
And yeah, I mean, Jay sets the bar high.
Very high.
Very
I said,
high.
I walk into other brick and mortars and I judge them on what I have here at the Leaf.
And I'm going to tell you, I talked to Patrick, I think it was Saturday night. And let me tell you something about Patrick Saturday night. Dude finished the entire Zoom meeting without passing out.
Wow. Wow.
Congratulations, Patrick.
Wow.
You're going to win a prize.
Yeah, definitely.
Larry says cheers, Patrick.
Wow.
But anyway, no, and he's the one that suggested that we set up the football pick'em. Have you signed up yet?
Already. As soon as I saw it, I signed up immediately.
And so for anybody who is interested, down in the show notes, there'll be a link. And so we're going to do a Cigar Talk Pro NFL pick'em. And it's no commitment.
None.
And all you do basically is
pick 'em.
Pick who you think's going to win and then rank first to 16th in order, and that many points gets to you if you're right. And so anyway, at the end of the season,
you get to talk.
No.
You still get to talk.
Yeah, you get to talk. And we're going to talk about who's in the lead every week. And it'll be the last 5 minutes of the show. But at the end of the season, the top 4 teams will all win cigar-related prizes.
Well,
and let me tell you what, you are going to be blown away with what number 1 gets. Oh, Lord. And I'm not telling you tonight. But let me tell you, wow. Now, just so you know, you are not eligible.
I know.
Okay. Well, I didn't want you.
That's the same way I was about every contest. I participate, but I know I'm
right.
Not
I'm participating, but I can't win. Unless it's a 5-pack nobody knows about. No, I'm just kidding you.
Man, you scar my memories.
Lemonade.
Yes. Let's come back.
So anyway, let's talk about the basics.
Oh.
I mean, we kind of started off when I lit my cigar up of what you should do, but picking out a cigar, I mean, dude, I want you to hold that. Look at the texture of that wrapper. Is that just a beauty?
Yeah, it feels good.
It does. I mean, it's coarse, it's leathery, it's oily.
Most definitely, man. And where you've already lost your first part of the ash, and look at it still,
dude.
Look at it still.
It's like a line just burning down all the way around. That's amazing.
That's a good stick.
But you know, when you go into a shop, look to make sure that the cigar is what you're looking at. Yeah. I mean, just you see a box and you just reach down and grab one and go, wait a minute, let's take a little time to look at it.
You don't do that with bread.
But let me back up. If you're new, or even if you're not new, dude, if you're not new and you're not asking the tobacconist to pick out some sticks from you every now and then, you are missing out.
You have a false sense of superiority.
Right. You think I got this. No, you don't have shit.
You don't. I was talking to a friend of mine and he was like, he went to a shop and he said, I've been smoking cigars for about 20 years. He said, man, I went to the shop and everything they had in there, I didn't recognize. I said, because bruh, boutiques are showing out. There are shops that are all boutique.
Right.
And he's like, for real? I said, yeah. And from hearing what you're saying, that's what you walked into.
Right.
It was a boutique shop.
Smoker's Abbey.
Yes.
Down in Austin.
You find
if it's not
gems.
A boutique,
yes,
it ain't in there.
It ain't in there. You find gems. And you're like, well, what is this? Where did it come from? That's what cigar smoking is about.
It's a journey.
It is. And nobody has finished this journey. You can't. You can live to 200. You still not, because somebody's going to come out with something new.
I'm not living to 200.
You're blessed you made it here.
I'm hoping.
we heard last show. You're blessed you made it here.
This is true. This is true.
Then what got me today? I'm looking on Instagram and I see when you fail again. I was like, I'm like, he feel hard.
You know, some people that saw that video were like, "You got no shame."
No,
I was
they
like,
don't know you.
I was like, I got nothing to hide.
Nothing.
I don't know anyone who's more transparent than me. And sometimes that's good, and sometimes that's really good.
You have many times where it's bad. I'm sorry.
That's true.
I'm sorry.
That's true.
There's some things like you in this door and not walking around the corner like everybody else. That's transparency. We don't want to know. But it's like, that's what we love about the cigar community, a true cigar community, because everybody just lays it on the line. This is who I am. And you learn to appreciate people.
Right.
You learn to appreciate them.
I like to try to find the best out of everyone.
Because there is something.
Right.
There is something.
I mean, even if you like, let's just name Scott Fritz. Dude's got some good qualities, right?
Yes.
I'm just messing with you, Scott.
I can see his face frowning up. Why do you see my name?
I'm just messing with you. You know, I love to do that.
Yeah. To everybody.
Hey, so how you like that cigar so
I'm
far?
loving it,
It's
man.
good, huh? A
Loving
little
it.
chocolatey?
That's what I was getting ready to say. Yes, it's a little chocolatey.
like just a real mild dark chocolate.
And a white pepper on the retro. I was like, that's perfect, man. That's perfect.
He's smoking the Quesada 40th anniversary. They've been around a while.
This is a good stick, man. It's, as we said, because Larry looked at it, he said, I've never seen this before. It's a good stick.
Larry, you're smoking it. Look at that ash he's got on his,
He
man.
said,
Wow.
I'm not going to say nothing.
But I'm going to tell you right
Messing
now,
with this dude, man.
I don't care because this stick
Yeah,
is killing it for me. Anyway, so like I was saying earlier, if you are a new cigar smoker or a veteran, ask your local tobacconist to put together a 5 to 10 sampler for you, and tell them what your palate is. Tell them that this is what I like, but I would also be open to trying some new cigars and blends that maybe are not my regular. Just let them know what you want. I love to try new cigars that aren't in my normal realm of cigars.
Me too. Because then you find out that what you thought is not true.
Right.
There are others out there. Like I said, I began with Monte Cristo. That's all I knew. But the more I smoked, and you find these others, and you're like, man, so and so got a great stick. So and so did it this way, but they got a little bit better taste to it. And it's about your palate.
Different.
It's your palate. And the thing I love about the Leaf, because this is where I got it at. Jay and Scott watched me, and they watched what I smoked
For a long time.
Yeah, and then they realized where my palate was. So when they offer things to me, they know what I like already, so that I don't have to tell them. And I haven't had one that they haven't hit a home run with yet.
Yeah. To me, now I want to preface this with, there are some guys, and they're only going to smoke this one stick.
Only one stick.
And you know what? That's fine. If that's the journey, it's not even a journey. If that's your comfort level and you're good there, then rock and roll. But if you want to enjoy the full journey as far as how I see it, try some cigars that are not in your immediate comfort zone.
Yeah, because when I first met you, you was a stick of
Partagas
dynamite.
Black.
You was a stick of dynamite.
I did smoke a Partagas Black this week.
You did.
Oh,
Wasn't it good?
It was good.
Wasn't it good?
It was good. But I smoked the Partagas Black and the LFD Cabinet 6 every day.
Yeah.
And those are full-bodied, full blast strength bombs. And I smoked them one after the next. And when I decided to go back and start trying Connecticut's.
No, he talked about us because I had a.
I would be like, "Are you serious?
You're smoking a Connecticut?" Then one day I walked in there and he had one. And I was like, "What's up with that?" "Oh, I'm trying something." And in my mind, I was like, "You mother!" But your palate started to change, and then when you found the Medallia,
oh, dude, that was like an explosion. Of all, that was one of the very first cigars I would say that I was like, wow, all these flavors I'm getting off this stick. You know what I mean? And then when I smoked another one, it was like, it hit me again with all these flavors. And it was just a complex stick. And I had really never focused on that before.
And then you started branching out from there. And I was like, what's up with the parties, man? No, I'm trying these. And the more I looked,
and
the
dude,
more you were in the entire.
I went way far away
from who you were,
from the full-bodied, full-strength cigars because I realized there was so much more out there. And now when I hear guys say that, I just smoke full-body cigars, I'm like, that's cool. And you know what I think to myself? I'm like, you'll come around.
Yep, however.
Because you'll get bored.
Yes. Because that punch, you get immune to that punch later on.
Right.
And now you try to say, okay, well, what do I do? And that's when you start trying to find those others. And when you try a medallion, you try a Camacho, you try something else that has a different profile than that, then you're like, wait a minute. Like you said, hey, I'm tasting something different. I'm getting this and I'm getting that. Hopefully your eyes will open, but
I think you've made your point.
Why?
Because I got something to say.
Here we go.
Hey,
please let us keep this.
Hey. No. What I was going to say is, this cigar is so good that if there's only one in the humidor, you're not getting it. If there's two, I'm going to give you one.
Say, but if it's one, so sorry.
I know there's at least one. I just don't know if there's two. But dude, it's like the more I smoke this, the oilier it gets. It's like it's sweating oil.
Man, people just don't understand how hard it is for me to sit there and not laugh when you start talking.
Blue bucket.
Yes. You murder words, man. You murder them.
You know why?
Why?
Because I'm from Lubbock. I mean, that's one of the reasons.
Oh, my God.
There are other reasons.
Back to the basics. When we first started, when I first got on here, when he used to try to pronounce certain cigars, oh, Lord, that was before video, I'd be over here on the ground laughing, man. I'm like, that is not in that word. But it's just like, that's the community. You find some of everybody there, man.
Hey. You know what that song is? It's called Happiness is Lubbock, Texas in my rearview mirror. Have you ever heard that song?
Never.
You've heard it. That's a Mac Davis song. I'm sure you don't even know who that is.
Nope. Who's Mac Davis? Was he an actor too?
He was a country singer, but he was the Fox's voice in Robin Hood.
Oh, okay. Who was the dude that played in that movie that was based on the Cowboys?
I don't know. Now North Dallas 40.
Yeah.
That might have been Mac Davis.
Yes, that's why I kind of remember
impressed.
that.
I'm impressed you knew that. I don't know if he was the main guy, but he was in that movie.
He was the other guy.
He was the one that wore cowboy boots.
Yeah, the one that cowboy boots. Yep.
There you go.
Yeah. I can see why now. Let me shut up.
So anyway, no, back to the basics though. Once you have your cigar, come out, and before you cut your cigar, don't put it in your mouth.
Especially if you're using somebody else's cutter.
If you're using your own cutter, I don't care. But it's a bad habit to get into, even with your own, because you go to a shop and then you automatically do it.
Yes,
I know because I've done it. But I've purposely quit doing it.
Yeah.
Because when you're home cutting it, you're like, and then you go to the shop and it's like, oh, COVID.
Yes, somebody else wants to use that.
Right.
They don't want my mono.
A mono. So anyway, you get your cigar out, you cut it, and when you cut it, just cut the very tip off. Do not go down the shoulder of the cigar and make a cut. You can see where the cap is, but look, dude, I cut way above the cap.
That's what people try to do, is try to take the cap off. And that's wrong.
And that on some cigars that will ruin it because the cap is so hard that it splits it, and then you just have to pull the whole cap off. And now you got the binder in your mouth,
and you're running with a railer because it's going to unravel on you.
Right.
And now you're mad because you can't enjoy it.
Let me tell you this: the other night we were in a herf, and Patrick takes his band off immediately. You know, he just doesn't like it on there. And I said, why don't you take your band off? And he's like, I'm not trying to impress anybody.
Nobody is.
And I'm like, yeah, actually Zeka was like, dude, it holds the cigar together. And yeah, like this cigar, I don't think you'd need the band.
Because it's small as it is.
Well, I just think that the perfection is there.
But we've had cigars that have
But I've
bands
had
all the
high
way
dollar
down.
cigars that I've taken the band off and it
it'll
starts
unravel.
unraveling. And it might not start unraveling until I get to the final third, but the fact that it's unraveling takes
mad.
away from the enjoyment of my cigar.
It makes you mad.
Exactly. So anyway, after you make your cut, and if you want to try something other than a straight cut, ask the tobacconist if they've got like a deep V, a V cut, a punch. And, you know, if you might enjoy a punch more than you enjoy, or you might enjoy the deep V better than some others. I actually prefer the straight cut now.
But you want to ask the question also with that, because you want to make sure that you have the perfect cutter for that stick.
Right.
Because you don't want to use a deep V on certain sticks because it takes away from it. And certain sticks you shouldn't use one on.
And the deep V will actually cut way below the cap line on some cigars.
Oh, yes.
So,
yes.
you know, if you got a shallow cap, the deep V is probably not for you.
Not the one. And I'm a deep V man, but I see certain caps, I'm like, oh, no.
And you know, I used to be on that deep V train.
I still love it, but I understand.
To the straight cut.
But I understand it depends upon the stick.
Absolutely.
And what you're looking for, because there's certain sticks I don't use my punch a lot, but there's certain sticks I'll use, like a Club 500. I'm punching it.
Are you really?
I'm punching it. Because I get so much from it when I draw off that cold draw, off the continuous draw throughout smoking it. I'm pulling so much out of it. I'm like, man, I love this, but I had to learn that.
And I'll tell you this: if you're using a punch and you enjoy your smoke like that, that means the construction was phenomenal.
Yeah. Because it has to be.
You can't mess around with construction and use a punch. Because there's times when you punch a cigar and the draw's too tight. So you got to cut the tip off
and now
to get a draw.
Now you didn't mess the stick up. Why? Because, I mean, it's a learn. It's, as you say, it's a journey. You're learning throughout the journey. You're learning throughout.
So after you make your cut, take the cold draw. Make sure that you have a good draw on it. And also, you can get cold draw notes, you know, like, and a perfect example is on the cold draw of the Sin Compromiso. You're like, that's chocolatey all day long.
Off the cold
and it's
draw.
Not like a sweet, infused type sweetness.
It's that dark chocolate.
It's like
it's real chocolate.
I get that.
So you're not getting milk chocolate. You're getting dark chocolate.
That's right.
Yeah.
So, and then after that, toast the foot of your cigar. And what that means is you hold the cigar and, you know,
lightly.
If you lightly toast the entire foot, and whenever I'm toasting mine, the main thing I'm watching is the wrapper.
Yeah.
Not the foot, the wrapper. I want to at least make sure when I toast the foot that I go all the way around and singe the wrapper because that's going to initiate a good burn. Yeah. And if you miss a spot, that place isn't going to burn as fast.
It's not. And now you got to make sure that throughout your smoke that doesn't become the bottom of your canoe. And now you're mad. We had one guy at the Leaf. That Andalusian board he got, and he didn't toast it, and he started smoking on it, and it started canoeing. He got mad. He's like, I can't believe this. I was like, you didn't toast it in the beginning. What do you mean? I said, you didn't evenly toast it to start that burn the correct way.
And on that Vitola,
you
got to.
You have to.
Because I would even clip the tip off.
Yes,
to ensure. You know what I mean? But anyway, and then once you have it toasted, you hold your cigar at a 45-degree angle with a torch anyway. Mm-hmm. With a soft flame, it's really more of like a 90-degree angle, and you just kind of over the flame. But with a torch, do a 45-degree angle and then slowly rotate it as you slowly take long, slow puffs.
And do not put that flame on
the cigar. If you're touching the flame to the foot,
you're wrong.
You're overheating the tobacco and you're
destroying it.
You're overheating it to a level where you're taking away from what was meant to be.
Yes, sir.
But as you slowly roast it, as you slowly roast it, I mean, fire it up, and you get like nice puffs of smoke, and then just look down and make sure that it's actually burnt all the way around. And now I'm good to sit back and relax.
I don't have to worry about that. That's one worry out of my mind now.
I'm done.
Yes, sir.
And I'm just going to enjoy this smoke. Now, a couple of things, though, on your ashing. Now, we're not in a perpetual competition for the longest ash.
Nope.
If I look over and I see you're doing this,
turning the stick straight up
to get a longer ash, you know what that tells me? I don't care about the ash, first of all, but what that tells me is that you are trying to get a long ash and you are not enjoying your cigar.
I just want to say you're not enjoying the cigar. You're in a competition, and that's not.
And with who, I don't know.
Because we're going to look at you and tap that ass.
Right.
I'm tapping mine. Oops.
And I like to get my, and it depends on the size too of the cigar, but I like to get I'd like to get it at least about an inch.
Because it insulates.
And then as an inch goes by, I'll tap it, and like on this cigar, it's going to be an inch and a half before the ash falls. Yeah. But yeah, that ash serves a purpose.
Yes, it does.
If you get it to an inch and a half, because it's insulating the heat, and that's what keeps your cigar like at the perfect temperature.
It's an art to smoking a cigar.
Is.
It is. It's not a cigarette where you just puff, 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 and then smash it out. This, you take your time, you enjoy, you truly want to enjoy everything about the stick. If it's a well-constructed, well-blended stick, you want to enjoy that construction and blend.
Now, I do have a question for you.
Yes, sir.
Like, what is your puff routine?
As in puff, and then the next time I puff on it?
Well, I mean, how many puffs do you take whenever you decide it's time? Do you just one puff?
One. Depending upon the stick also, because a McAuliffe Sumatra, when I puff, I take two. Because I want that full flavor. I want every bit of that flavor. Other sticks, it just depends on what it is. A Club 500, I'll do two puffs.
See, standard for me is 3.
Oh.
I do a light puff just to get it reignited. You know what I mean? Like, let's get the air flowing. And then I do a medium puff, and then I do a slow, long puff.
Gotcha.
And that's it. And that's probably one of the reasons I smoke faster than most people.
Because you're 3 in it.
Because I'm 3 in it, but I get the full volume of smoke on that third puff that I would not get if I did just one.
Yeah, and that's your palate. That's the way you see it. That's the beauty of it. Nothing is wrong. Just because you do it that way doesn't mean it's
right
wrong.
way. I was just, and that's why I asked, because I was curious what your regimen is.
Yeah, that's my regimen. It's always on a great, I'm not going to say a great stick, but certain sticks, it's 2. Others,
now some
I can
sticks
get
for
1.
me is 2.
Yeah, others I can get it off 1.
No sticks for me is 1.
No? Wow.
No, because I'd like to fire it up and then get a full puff.
Okay.
At a minimum.
Got you. That's good to know. That's
and
really
I mean, it's just different for different people.
True.
You know, I do know some people that they just do 1.
Yeah.
But it's interesting to see what other people do.
And we know people that stick their cigar in a pipe.
Yeah.
And smoke it that way, so they can smoke
if
inch of it.
That's how you like to do it, knock yourself out.
Do it.
You know, I remember I bought a pipe. I bought a Churchill. Who made that? It was some Peterson church warden.
Church warden.
You know, it was one of those long pipes. And when I bought it, I asked the guy, so can I put like a cigar down in here? And he was like, please don't do that with this pipe. And I was like, what do you mean? And he was like, this is a nice pipe.
Don't do that.
So fast forward 6 hours, I shoot him a text with a picture of me smoking a cigar in that pipe. I was like, hey, just so you know, this pipe belongs to me, and I'll do whatever the hell I want to do with it.
That's where I was going with it. This is mine, and I do what I want with it. I can see you, man. I can see you doing that.
It's like
with a smiley face.
Yeah, exactly.
So sorry.
So let's come to the end of the cigar. And sometimes you just you get a little depressed when you're getting to the end of the cigar. But here's the thing: you set it in one of the armrests of the ashtray. You just, and that's it.
Yeah.
You're done.
You're done.
You're done.
You have those that don't go into the last third. They feel like once they make it to the wrapper, they're done. That was etiquette at one time. People said you just smoke to the wrapper and you're done. Well, my mindset is
they never smoked a medallion. I got to take the band off, and I smoke that little sucker down to the tip.
And I even have a poker to put in there so my fingertips don't get catch on fire. Poker. Dude, please.
Hey, you know Trent over in Atlanta?
Yeah.
You know what he uses for a poker? Corn cob holders.
Nothing wrong with it.
It's like,
I know somebody uses a knitting needle.
and Larry says he knows someone that uses a knitting needle.
Wow. That is really taking your fingers away from the fire.
She said if she gets something she really likes,
yeah, and that's my thing. If I'm enjoying that stick, bro, I'm smoking every inch.
You know what I just realized on this stick?
What's that?
It's full strength.
I
just had that level of nicotine hit. It was like,
I'm here.
Not very many sticks do that for me.
Man, I'm here. Especially Rick, you were a bomber, dude. For you to get to recognize full strength, it has to be hard. And I'm not saying hard in a bad way, but it has to be full.
Right.
It has to be full.
It's a full strength cigar.
Yeah. Larry over there, like, yeah.
So anyway, I mean, and that's just the basics.
Mm-hmm.
I would want to add in that if you are at a cigar shop, don't feel shy about walking over and sitting down with a group of people.
Nope.
Because what I'll tell you right now is when you have that group of people, they didn't all show up together. They showed up one by one, just like you did. And they sat down and they're enjoying the company of other cigar smokers. And so you have the opportunity to do the same thing. Well, hey guys, that's going to wrap up Back to the Basics. I've got a special guest coming up next. I've got a conversation with Ash. And so after that, we will come back and do a wrap up and give you some more information that you're not going to want to miss out on. So don't go anywhere. We'll be right back after the break. Hey guys, we have a special guest today. We have Ashes with Ash creator, Ash Ott. She is the host, she is the researcher, and she is everything on this show. So we are excited to have her. We're very disappointed that she was on the Straight Cut first and then came the Cigar Talk. But I understand, Aaron, that beard, I'd probably go there first too. Welcome to the show, Ash. How are you?
Oh, good. Thank you for having me.
You're welcome.
Glad to finally be here.
Oh, well, we're excited to have you. We're excited to have you. And, when did you, let's jump into your podcast. When did you actually start it?
February this year.
So, I mean, it's a fresh start. It's something new for you. What made you think, you know what? I love cigars. Let's do something really crazy and talk about it.
Yeah, I guess it was kind of just because of the pandemic.
Oh,
I haven't been able to go to cigar lounges and talk to people and talk about cigars and meet new people. I was like, this could be a really cool way to meet new cigar aficionados.
It really is.
So I just jumped in.
I didn't know that was going to be one of the benefits of doing a podcast, but that is a huge benefit that you get to meet a lot of people with a lot more knowledge than myself. So that's like, I get to smoke cigars, talk to these people, and learn shit. Awesome.
Exactly.
So anyway, so you started in, you said February of this year. Mm-hmm. Now, did you have any background in broadcasting, communications, digital, social media, or did you just like, I'm going to do it and I'll figure it out?
Exactly that. That's what I do with everything in life, is I just figure it out along the way.
And you know what? That's the best way. That's the best way.
Yeah,
Don't waste time learning shit until you need to know.
Exactly.
So
fake it till you make it.
Bingo. So, you've been doing it since February. like, what is some of the highlights that you've enjoyed throughout the series? I saw some of the people you interviewed. We even had one of them in common, her aficionado, which is Octavia from Atlanta, Georgia. And so, like, that's, I mean, from Atlanta to New York, I mean, how would you ever connect with someone if you weren't doing what you're doing? So, I mean, like, what's some of the highlights through your eyes doing your show?
Well, it's really been discovering the Sisters of the Leaf. Like, I've met so many women in this industry, and, you know, of course I always knew there's the SOTLs, and of course there's women who smoke, but through this podcast, I've met so many women, and it's gotten more focused on that and interviewing women in the industry. It's been really
and it's
cool.
crazy because, I mean, you think about the cigar industry traditionally was a man's only club.
Right.
But in your time, and I think that you are in it at the perfect time because it's exploding for women. I mean, I don't know if you know Anastasia from Greece, but she started
Yes, I've been talking to her.
She's awesome. She was on our show 2 weeks ago, and
I heard that.
we love her. And so, yeah, what she's doing for the Sisters of the Leaf is amazing. And it's not restricted to just women, but it's like when you look around and you see all of that activity, it's like, this is the time to be a woman getting into cigars.
Right. Yeah, and I kind of noticed that too. Once I had the idea of starting a podcast, I looked it up and I was like, there are no other women that have a cigar podcast. It's like, I should jump on that.
Well,
now.
I would rephrase that. There's
Yeah.
not any other women doing a good cigar podcast.
Yeah, I haven't seen them yet. I've heard of some like thinking about starting
No,
them.
no,
Some
I
people
know
I
of
follow on
one.
Instagram. Do you really?
Yes. Oh, I'm not nice. But no, I mean, it is a great time not only to be in the cigar industry, but also being female doing a podcast in the cigar industry. And I hope that you are contributing or able to see the fruits of the work of you putting in to grow that community even bigger. And I mean, I've seen, because I've only been in the social media arena for like 3 years. And in 3 years, the transformation of cigars on Instagram being like 99% men to now it's probably like 80%. I don't know if that number's right. I'm just taking a stab in the dark, but you know what I mean?
That sounds right. Yeah.
So, I mean, that's a huge growth.
Right.
And so you're like leading the way.
Yes. And I find new women cigar smokers on Instagram, I feel like every day. I always find somebody new. I search for them and like look for them on Instagram, but then every once in a while another one pops up. I'm like, what? I thought I found all of you.
And it's cool because when you see like the brand new female cigar smokers, like they're not even hashtagging SOTL. You know what I mean? That's how new they are. And you're like, wow, I can connect with somebody who's brand new. And I always think that's fun.
Yeah, definitely. I will say that SOTL hashtag, if you don't know what it means, which my stepmom did not know what it meant, and she tried to Google it, and the first thing that came up was sluts on the loose.
Wow. Are you serious? That is hilarious.
I was like, this is not what it means. Don't worry. Sisters of the Leaf, guys.
Wow. Well, thanks for the heads up. I've never Googled that.
Don't Google it.
Wow. That's interesting. You have to do a whole episode on that.
I know, I should.
And you could just call it that. You know what I mean? That'd be funny. So, I mean, like, tell us a little bit more about your show and how the layout is, what you do on the show. I've listened to a little bit of your podcast, and I mean, nobody wants to hear me tell what you do. So you tell people what you do.
Yeah, well, it started off, I was thinking of going to different cigar lounges and finding the most interesting regular customer. And I wanted to interview them because I just love like the cigar lounge feel and all the stories you hear just by sitting in a cigar lounge. But ever since I started, my very first episode was here at Barclay Rex, and the owner is a woman. And so from then on, I just tried to find more women to be on it. So it's kind of morphed into more Sisters of the Leaf and just interviewing them, just asking how they got into cigars and then any story they really want to tell. And of course, I've had some guys on too, but
Sure.
I like how it's kind of morphed into more of a women cigar smoking podcast.
I think that's
So, yeah.
great. That's awesome. And it's funny because what you just said is exactly, well, not exactly, but close to how Cigar Talk started. Our first
yeah?
episode, we went to a cigar bar and did a show, and our show was based around owners of cigar lounges.
Yes.
And it turned into whatever the hell we have going on now.
Just random talking cigars.
Yeah, now we're just,
I love it.
yeah. And actually, I was excited that you're on this episode because we did a 4-part series called the Top 100 Must Try Cigars.
Yes.
And so that was 4 episodes, and we gave a little bit each week. And so this episode, we wanted to do something completely opposite. And this one is back to the basics. Let's share everything you need to know if you don't know anything about cigars. And so we thought you were the perfect guest to fit right in there and be like, you know, hey, we're all in this together and we're all starting one place or another, but we're all doing it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, right?
So that's
Yeah, I
where you
think-
landed.
Nice. That's awesome. Yeah, I don't like to have a lot of rules at first. A lot of people tell you all the rules of smoking and everything like that. I say just jump into it and start having conversations while smoking, and you'll learn to fall in love with it just by having
Absolutely.
those conversations.
Yeah. So how did you get into cigars? I mean, and I'm going to be ungentlemanlike and ask you, how old are you?
I'll be 29 next month.
Okay. That's older
Yeah.
than I thought. I thought you were going to be like 22. So anyway, yeah. So anyway, I mean, how did you get into cigars as a young woman? I mean, what made you decide
really-
I'm going to try a cigar? Because
Yeah.
it's like intimidating.
It's always been kind of normal to me a little bit. My family has grown up smoking cigars. My dad, my grandfather. My dad's had 2 cigar lounges himself. And
Oh, wow.
my
So you
grandfather
have
worked in-
history.
yeah. Oh, yeah.
So how old were you when you had your first cigar?
I was probably 17 when I had my first cigar.
Wow.
My dad would like bring them to me like for vacations and hunting trips and stuff like that. We'd always smoke a cigar. But I really got into it a few years ago when my dad opened up his second lounge. I started working there. I worked there for a year. And that's where I really got into it and went to the Tobacconist University and got that cigar sommelier license and everything.
Nice.
Yeah, that's when I really fell in love with it.
Wow. See, I didn't know you had all this expertise and this family history. That is so cool that
Yeah.
your dad had 2 lounges and then you went to work at one. So, I mean,
Yes.
you like what experiences there at the shop like made you go, you know what? That'd be perfect with my podcast. 'Cause now you understand both sides.
Right. Yeah. Well, when it first started, I was just going to go help open up the shop a little bit, just like help with the POS system and stuff. But then he ordered 5,000 different cigars for his humidor. And I unpacked all those boxes and I was like, oh, I want to try that. Oh, I want to try that. Oh, I want to try that. And I just started to see all of it and then seeing all the customers come in before we even opened. People were like, I'm here, like, sell me cigars. I'll just give you cash, even though
Right.
the system's not set up. And I just saw how much people really loved it. Like, I've always known about cigars, but I never knew how big of a community it was until my dad's lounge.
Now, how old were you when you started working at the lounge?
I guess I was 26,
Okay.
25, 26.
So
Yeah.
you had already been smoking cigars for a bit,
Yeah.
but you hadn't fallen in love yet.
Not quite. Yeah. Not until I started working there.
I got you. So, like, what were some of your favorite cigars from your dad's shop back in the day?
Ooh, well, early on, I discovered Curivari. I love Curivari cigars.
Never even heard of them.
No way. Oh, okay. So if you listen to my podcast, I annoyingly talk about them on every episode. They should sponsor me. I love Curivari. They're so inexpensive and so good. It's just a boutique cigar company. and they have a few different ones. A great little Connecticut shade. It's very similar to like the Monte Cristo White series. But my favorite one is the Praline. That's a Nicaraguan binder and filler, but with a San Andreas wrapper.
Ooh.
And it is so cedary and leathery.
And a
So
little
it's like
spicy with that
yes.
San Andreas. I love that peppery
Oh my
spice
gosh.
that you get off of
Me
San
too.
Andreas. And I don't
And it
smoke them
just
all the
leaves-
time. It's one of those cigars that you're like, you know, it would be really good right now. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. And it just like leaves this cedar taste on your lips the whole time you're smoking it. It's so good. And all of their cigars are just awesome. So those were my favorites.
So do you
And then
smoke more
Tatuaje.
boutiques?
I guess so, yeah. More boutiques. I love Tatuaje too, and Ashton.
See, I
Yeah,
don't.
kinda
I
just-
consider Tatuaje a boutique.
Yeah, I think so too.
Now, Ashton,
bigger
I do
boutique.
not. I don't. I mean, I think Ashton is like with Altadas or General. I don't remember which.
Right, yeah.
One of those conglomerates. But anyway, so what else you like to smoke? I love talking about what people love to smoke, just because I'm like,
Yeah.
I love that, or I've never had that,
Right.
or I hated that.
Man, what else do I smoke? I try everything. I have this little booklet.
Do you really? You're
I
one of
keep
those
my-
nerd note takers.
Yeah, well, I don't take notes. I just keep the bands. I should take notes.
Oh, well,
But-
I interviewed a guy that took notes on every cigar and saved the band, and I was like, dude, that's taking the enjoyment out of my smoking.
That's commitment.
Yes, it is.
Oh, the Bombay Sapphire. Have you ever had that one?
I have never had that. I've seen it on
It's
Instagram.
So good.
Oh.
It's so good.
I have wanted to smoke that.
Yeah, it's amazing.
And they do
A lot of pure variety.
they do awesome Instagram photos. Have you seen their photos?
Oh gosh, I don't remember.
They do like crazy looking graphic backgrounds
Wow.
with these badass photos. And it's not graphics, it's just I don't know what they're doing. I was a photographer and I can't do what they did. So
Wow.
they got it going on. So where do you plan on going from where you are now? I mean, what do you have a 2-year plan, 5-year plan, or are you just doing what you do?
Well, I was just doing what I do, and I guess I still am right now, but I have been thinking a lot lately. I'd love to get my podcast going and travel. Like, I'd love to convert a bus or van into just where I live in and go everywhere and go to all the lounges and interview all the people.
I wanted to
bunch
do
of
that
people.
exact same thing. Get a bus, make it a studio, put bunk beds in the
Yes.
back, and let's go.
And
Yeah.
I already live in New York City, so I know how to live in a very small place. So I think I can handle it.
Yeah, see, I'm in Texas. We don't know how to live in a small place.
Yeah, right.
We don't deal
Yeah,
with
you guys
that.
have big houses.
Yeah, I mean, we just don't have tiny houses. Well, some people do.
I live in a closet right now, I think.
Wow. Now, so I assume you're from New York always? That's where you're originally from?
No, I'm from Virginia. I only moved to New York 2 years ago this month.
Oh, wow.
Yeah,
So you went from the South to New York City.
I did.
What made you want to move there?
Man, I just wanted to do something.
You wanted an
I was
adventure.
just desperate to do something. I just was tired of just doing the same thing every day, seeing the same people. I was over it. I needed to move on.
Now, where you grew up, was that like a small town? Or
Yeah, it's a pretty small town. It still is right now. It's actually home of like the biggest Christian college in the United States, I think, right now, Liberty University.
so
So it's a little. It's bigger during those seasons. During
and is it
school
a
season.
wild party town?
No.
No.
Like there was no downtown until just a few years ago. Like there's only like a few restaurants you could go to, and everything's far away. Like everyone lived far away from everything in the
So it was
country.
really small.
It was really small.
Wow.
It's getting bigger now.
I
Yeah.
see. Well, that's awesome. So tell everyone where they can find your podcast, your Instagram, how they can connect with you, all that good stuff.
Yes, so I'm on Instagram at Ashes with Ash. And you can find me on anchor.fm/Ashes with Ash. And my podcast is on all other platforms like Spotify and Apple. But I will say, because I'm not that big yet, it's hard to search for me. It's hard to find me. But if you go to the Anchor...
We will put a link down in the show notes that'll go straight to your Anchor site.
Perfect. And then from there you can click on Spotify and Apple. It'll take you there,
Right. Now, where do you listen to podcasts at? What platform?
Mostly Spotify.
Good answer.
But sometimes,
good answer.
Yeah.
I don't use Apple. I know a ton of people use Apple, but I don't use Apple. And I've got an iPhone.
Yeah, I don't either.
I still prefer Spotify.
Yeah. I have like Amazon Music because I have like the Alexa. So I guess it plays podcasts on there. I think that's Amazon Music though.
Well, if you have Alexa, it'll
Spotify.
play your Spotify too if you connect it to your account.
Seems like a whole thing.
I love Alexa because it's hooked up to my giant stereo from 1984.
Nice.
And so it brings me the new capabilities to my old system. So I love Alexa. I love the
Me too.
Spotify conjunction.
Yeah.
So who's your next guest coming up? Who do you have on the docket to show off?
Well, I have Anastasia from Greece. I'm gonna have her on soon. I'm not exactly sure when. I've been so busy with work lately. I don't really have anyone set up for sure, but I do know in October I'm gonna have my dad on to tell my family history.
That is awesome.
It goes back. Yeah, it goes back to like the 1800s in my family.
Wow.
Yeah, it's crazy.
That is cool. So
cool.
I'll be looking for that episode. I love that type of history going on, and I love getting into cigar history with everyone to find out what brought them to where we are. You know what I mean?
Exactly. Yeah. And even on my mom's side of the family, there's a ton of cigar history, like family straight from Cuba. And so I'm going to have my grandfather come on at some point too and tell that side of the story.
Very cool.
Yeah.
So
I've got cigars in my
Cuban blood in you. Yes.
A little bit. Yep.
Wow. That is awesome.
Yeah.
So who's some of your other favorite guests?
Oh my gosh.
Are you allowed to say who's your favorites?
I don't know. I have seriously just been so happy to meet everyone that I've interviewed. It's just been so cool. Everyone's been very different stories.
I'll tell you my top three.
Yeah.
Billy and Gus, which is from Viva La Vida in New York. You got to hook up with them. Their story is amazing.
I will.
And then Steve Zaka was one. And then really my very favorite of all was Robert Caldwell.
Who's that? Do I know who that is?
Caldwell Cigars. Yeah. So anyway, he's a very interesting guy that he's a lot like Steve Saka in the fact that he doesn't care about anything. He's going to say what he's going to say.
Love that.
I mean, the quote for Robert Caldwell on the show was, "I'm an asshole and I don't give a fuck." And I was like, that's my people right there.
Exactly.
So tell us about the shop you're in that's now your sponsor. How long have they been around?
Well, the company itself has been around for 106 years in
Wow.
New York City. Yeah, just in different locations. It started off as a pipe shop, so it was a pipe and tobacco, and the guy, his dog's name was Rex, and him and Rex would sit in the window, like right on the street of New York, and just make the pipes.
So that's how
really
the
cool.
name of the shop came to be, Barclay Rex. Very cool.
Now it's always been a shop in different locations, and this is the first location that has the lounge.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, it's really cool. And my first episode, she tells all the history of it. It's really cool. If anybody wants to listen.
That's awesome.
That's awesome.
Hell yeah. So we'll definitely go back and check that out because I love hearing about lounges, especially with lounges that have a lot of history.
Exactly. Yeah, me too.
Like the Leaf here in Abilene is a shorter span of time. I don't remember when it actually opened, but I believe it was in the 90s. But between the different owners, and they've had to move 3 times in 20 years. So it's a great story each time they've moved.
Yeah. it's been like a different place each time. That's kind of like what this is like too.
Yeah, that's
had
cool.
like a couple pipe shops, couple tobacco.
And that's a nice big lounge.
Yeah.
Before we started
It's
the
huge.
interview, she showed me the lounge in a video, and I mean, I was like, "Wow, that's nice too."
Yeah, it's beautiful.
Now it's noon 20 there. Is there other people hanging out in the lounge already?
Not yet.
See, that's
So
weird.
I came like a little bit. Yeah, I came. They don't open till noon.
Oh,
But
okay, gotcha. See,
Yeah, so I
like
just
our
came a
shop
little bit
opens
early.
at 10, and I'm usually there
Oh,
at
nice.
9:55. But you're on today, so I'm not there.
oh, gotcha. Yeah, I think other days they open a little bit earlier, but Saturdays and Sundays I think are noon.
Oh, okay, cool.
Yeah.
Well, cool deal. Well, hey, thanks for hanging out with us and taking the time to tell us about your show. We wish you much success. And if you ever need anything from us, feel free to reach out at any time. We love helping other people out. It's the cigar community way. You know what I mean?
Yes, definitely. Thank you so much.
Oh,
This
you're
has been
welcome.
Awesome.
Well, thank you and have a great weekend. And we'll talk to you soon.
Sounds good. Talk to you soon.
Awesome. Hey guys, welcome back. Hope you enjoyed that discussion I had with Ash. If you haven't tried her podcast, I highly recommend it. Go over and see what's going on her side of the neighborhood. Anyway, we're going to just talk about Dak Prescott.
Why? Why?
Dude, have you watched Hard Knocks yet?
No.
So, you know, the Cowboys are doing that this year.
Yeah, that's why I'm not watching. It's easy.
Well, you know, he's been hurt, but
Nah, it's his shoulder.
he just had a shoulder bruise.
Uh-huh.
That's it. But they wouldn't let him throw.
Hell no, all the millions they gave him.
And he is standing on the sideline pissed. He's
Yeah.
like,
He wants to be in there.
yeah. In fact, the backup QB walks by and he says something about, you know, you should be in here. And he's like, I didn't ask to fucking get out.
He said that on there.
Yeah, dude, I was shocked because he dropped at least 2 F-bombs on the show.
And that's not his character. That's not his character at all.
No, he was pissed.
Yeah,
He
you can see
wanted
that.
in there.
Yeah.
He was like, I can do that.
The thing that got me was I saw part of the Kansas City San Fran game Saturday night.
Did anybody play? I mean, any of the starters?
Traded. Well, Garoppolo had the first drive. And in the second quarter, they brought Trey Lance in, which is our number 3 pick this year.
But who's your starting quarterback?
Garoppolo right now. But I'm telling you this. Dude, he threw an 80-yard bomb that was so... Faked the handoff, naked bootleg out, stopped, and what's his name that we picked number 1 last year? The receiver was wide open in the middle. He's like, oh, hell no. He put that dime out there, and as dude running full speed, it dropped right in his hands, and he just kept on running.
Really?
I was like, that's what we need. That 80-yard bomb was longer.
We need some more of that.
Yeah, was long. It was a longer pass than Garoppolo that threw in 2 seasons.
Wow.
And this is his first start. Even though it's preseason, he's like, it's preseason. I don't care. This is his opportunity to show. And it was still some of the number 1 Kansas City guys out there. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I'm like, that's what we need. But the boy, that Chicago got Justin Fields.
Yeah.
That's Michael Vick with a right-handed Michael Vick. What
Is he a rookie?
Yes.
Okay.
What's that guy who was y'all backup last year? Came from Cincinnati? Andy
Dalton.
He better count his days. Because, bruh, that boy going to take over.
Oh, is Andy Dalton starting for the Chicago
for the
Bears?
Bears.
I did not know that.
Right now. I don't think he's going to make it out of preseason as a starter.
I got you.
This dude went, 12 or 15 for a throwing touchdown and a running touchdown.
I haven't seen that.
I'm like,
So I wanted to invite everyone, again, down in the show notes, we're going to be doing the weekly pick.
yes, sir.
And at the end of the season, I don't know what the number 2, 3, and 4 is going to get, but number 1 is going to get something so badass.
Make me mad.
But I'm not going to tell everybody what's going to be for the number 1 gift until the season starts.
Gotcha.
But look down the show notes, and there's no cap on how many people can play. So we want as many people that want to play to join in.
Because all you're doing is picking the winners. It's not like you're picking a squad.
Right.
Players.
Well, originally we had talked about maybe doing a Cigar Talk Fantasy League, but that's only 12 people.
Yeah.
And that takes a lot of time.
Yes, it does.
And I wasn't willing to commit that much time on fantasy football.
You were going to be the commissioner. I wasn't.
Well, right.
Yeah, own up to it. Ain't no
I always usually do that. I hate doing it, but I do it. But, I played fantasy football probably for about 15, 16 years. And I did very well.
Yeah.
But I put a lot of time in it.
Because that's what it takes.
Right.
You got to be on it.
And so I don't want to do that anymore.
I played fantasy football, and I'm not going to I haven't played it as long as you. I've known about it as long as you have, probably. But I'm going to say actual seasons, I give it about 7 or 8. And
See,
I was a commissioner twice.
I started in like 97.
No, I did not. Yeah.
When we didn't even have the internet then.
Yeah, true.
But in
You had
'99, we took over with the internet, and it was way easier.
Yeah.
But yeah, I was into it.
Yeah. How many times have you come in first?
Okay, so the first league I was in was 9 years, and in that league, I won 7 of them.
Wow.
And then in the other league,
I have to applaud you then.
yeah, in the other league there was 8 seasons, and I won 3 times.
Wow.
And
So 10 out of 15.
yeah,
Wow.
and I mean, dude, when I play,
You're in it.
I'm
You're
in it.
Yeah.
And I'll tell you a funny story. The second time before the last time, because the last time I won, I retired.
Gotcha.
I was like, I'm done.
I'm going out a winner.
I'm going out a winner.
I ain't Peyton.
But the year before that, I also won. I won back to back the last 2 years.
I've never done that.
And so anyway, the guy that I was in the Super Bowl with was like, hey, man, instead of seeing who wins, well, first, let me back up. This was a $100 league.
Okay.
So the payout was $1,200. And so I think we did $800 for first place, and second place got $400.
Wow.
And so the guy that I was playing was like, hey, man, let's just split it.
Gotcha.
Don't worry
No matter
about who
what
wins. You'll have bragging rights if you win.
Yeah, but we gonna
But
split
we
the
both
money.
get 6.
Yeah.
And I was like,
Nah.
how about we do winner takes all?
I
And
can
he
see
was
you.
like, no. and I was like, I'm not doing it. So then the next time I seen him, he was like, dude, my team's looking pretty good. Let's do split it. And I was like, you know what? I'll split it with you, dude. I don't
Gotcha.
really care.
Gotcha.
So I split it, and then I won. But the next season, there was this one guy in the league that I worked with, and I saw him all the time, and he was always saying, you're not the champion. You split it.
So it wasn't happening no more.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But the funny part, like, I don't believe in karma.
Yeah.
But this example would make me believe in karma because that guy and me ended up in the Super Bowl, and I said, let's go all or nothing. You're a pussy if you don't. And he did, and I beat his ass. And then I retired.
I bet you I went out a winner this time, didn't I?
I was like,
I got you.
And because of all the bitching and crying he had done, when I said all or nothing, he couldn't refuse.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? He was like,
he had opened that door. He had
Right.
walked in before you. Come on in. He's like, yeah, okay. Now I'm winning. Don't say shit.
oh, dude. And I spanked his ass.
Yeah,
It was awesome.
That's fun, though, man.
So if you haven't signed up for the Pick'em series, we're going to have a 5-minute session at the end of each show and talk about who's in the lead and who's fucking up.
Yeah.
And just having a good time with it.
That's all
and,
it is.
And you're going to have an awesome possibility of winning a badass first prize. I'm
He's
jealous.
still not saying
I'm
anything.
jealous.
He's still not saying anything.
So we want to thank Ash for coming on the show
yes,
today.
sir. Yes, sir.
If you haven't, check out, we'll have a link down in the show notes for her show. And if you want to check out any of our sponsors, which we highly recommend, they're in the show notes as well. And then if you would like to become a Patreon member, which is the Light 'em Up crew,
Yes, sir.
every week we do a after show, and so that's where things turn dark.
They get real, and they get real quick.
So anyway, we want to say thank you to the Light 'em Up crew. You guys help this show continue every week.
Sir. Yes, sir.
And we just want to say thank you. We love you guys. And until next time,
Keep smoking.
boom.